unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right. 'Cause the eyes of the ranger are upon you. Any wrong you do, he's gonna see. When you're in Texas, look behind you. 'Cause that's where the ranger's gonna be.
Welcome, Golan Globetrotters. That is that twang of Texas Walker Ranger theme song.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, you loved it, right?
Well, I love that talk singing that Chuck does on it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I wish it actually, instead of doing like, you know, a slideshow of him in action, it was him actually singing it or talk singing it, you know, but whatever.
Before we get into it, we should say welcome to the first episode of Tippy Taps.
Yeah, this is Tippy Taps,
where we do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah,
in the realm of action, of course.
I feel like it's mostly going to be our excuse to do like an episode, do a Renegade, do a Walker, but who knows what we do with it. We have not, like the rules in a lot of the movies that we watch, there are no rules.
There are no rules in Tippy Taps.
That's for sure.
It's pretty. Doesn't do much, though.
Exactly. Just fans off your opponent, basically. Beats the sweat off their brow.
So, yeah, we're doing our first episode with a Walker Texas Ranger. I'm going to let you take the lead because I'm a Walker virgin. I explained it. I never watched this show. I've never seen an episode. This is the first episode I've seen all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces. Of course, the most famous being the cyborg cannibal, which I might have been hallucinating. That might not even exist. But we'll find it and we'll cover it on a future episode of Tippy Taps.
Tippy Taps.
So yeah, take the lead, Griff. Introduce me to the world, and maybe some listeners who didn't watch Walker Texas Ranger, the world of and the characters and the history.
Oh, absolutely. And by history and all that, no, you're not getting any of that. So this is a show that went on for about 8 seasons, starting in like 91 or 92.
How the hell did this show stand for 8 years?
Who knows? But, you know, it's Chuck Norris. It's good, wholesome values. So clearly that sold well back in the day. But when
America was great.
Exactly. Yeah. This is what we're trying to go back to.
Maybe that's what we need. We don't need all this shit. All Trump needs to do is put Walker Texas Ranger back on.
I think Walker is a Trump guy, too. So
Sure he is.
He's probably trying to teach him how to roundhouse. I can't imagine that's going well, though.
See that roundhouse I just did? You heard it.
Holy shit. By the way, I don't know. Maybe we'll drop some of the sound effects in when we get into some of the fighting scene, but like any TV drama, action, they ham it the fuck up on sound
Their
effects.
Kicks break the sound barrier. There's a sonic boom every time someone throws a roundhouse.
There's a time where Walker barely throws somebody onto the ground, and it sounds like a fucking tornado just went by. Just, amazing.
Texas Twister.
So here's the thing about Walker. This episode that we're doing today, we're sticking to the whole Christmas theme. You know, we're a little late, but who the fuck cares?
It's never too late for Christmas.
Exactly. So this is season 8. I was already done with Walker. I think me and my family watched it for a couple seasons. This was like a wholesome get together. This is what I was their target. We were the target audience, except that we weren't religious or, you know.
I hope the people listening aren't religious because you might get offended by some of the things said in this episode. So if you are, turn it off.
So we were talking about this while we were watching. We just watched the episode. You couldn't get to run at home, so we watched it here, which was a good time. I always like watching this shit. It's way more fun than watching it by myself because it seems depressing when I'm watching a Walker Texas Ranger episode by myself. Yeah. So our main characters, let's get there. We know that this is the 8th season, so we're talking 97, 98. Can you think of something in pop culture that's really big in 97, 98?
Was Friends big in like 97?
Friends was big. Seinfeld was still big.
Frasier.
You know what was in every store? Beanie Babies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, got your mom. What the fuck was that called? What was it? Habatachi? What the fuck was that?
Tamagotchi?
Yeah, Tamagotchi.
The little pets. Yeah.
No.
I was
Furby.
I was really trying to get you into the Beanie Baby thing.
You mean, I never heard of Beanie Baby. Beanie Pals? Is that like Beanie Pals?
Yeah, Bean Pals.
Bean Pals.
Bean Pals. So they're playing on that theme in this episode.
That was the hot commodity in this episode.
There's a lot of fun flashback stuff, but we're like in 1997. Again, this is being a later season. They actually added 2 more characters because clearly, I think
that's
happened,
how you save a show when it's flagging. Just add more characters.
Yeah,
it always works.
I think what was happening.
It should have been a smart aleck orphan like that. Somehow, for some reason, works for like the Texas Rangers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, there had to be, and because it all takes place on the southern borders. I was reading through a bunch of the episode synopsis. They do a lot of border relation stuff. A lot of drug cartels come up from Mexico.
It's a very important issue for me.
So, oh, shit. But yeah, we have 2 new characters. I'm pretty sure they added them somewhere midway through the season because I think Walker was like, I can't do any more of the stunts. I'm done. Because if you notice, Walker mostly just does the talking.
Right.
You know, he had that one action scene, and all he did was like kind of a Steven Seagal arm flip.
Yeah, I think
arm
his
bar
stunt
kind of
double had to retire.
Yeah,
he was too elderly. His stunt double was actually Pog from your episode.
Pog. So these 2 new, we got Walker.
Was that first or last name? What is his name? Is his name Chuck Walker?
It is his last name. It's Cordell Walker. Don't
Walker.
ask me to remember all the names. Then there's Trivet. I don't remember if that's his first or last name, but he is Walker's partner.
His first name is Trivet.
Dude, it's the craziest
He's like
name.
an alien from Star Trek.
He might as well be.
I'm Trivet.
Okay, and then we
Alex
have
Trivet.
we have CD, who was like, I think he was Walker's old partner, but he's retired and he has a bar, and they all hang out in the bar.
Okay, yeah. CD's the Wilford Brimley type character.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of knowledge.
Oh, so much
wisdom.
Knowledge. We hear it right off the bat where he's like, "Oh yes, this ornament reminds me of Waco."
Remember when we killed all them Branch Davidians? Good times, Walker. Good times.
If it were Family Guy, it would cut to Walker roundhousing a bunch of
David Koresh.
Yeah, or just David Koresh.
And they drink a Dr. Pepper because that's Waco's most famous
yeah.
for.
And then our 2 new characters. We get these young spunky pair, and they're Rangers as well. But you have
and they might be lovers. We don't know.
There's an attraction there for sure.
Sexual
big time
tension.
So there's Francis. He's the dude. How did you feel about him?
Kind of a poor man's Red Brown.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Kind of a meathead.
Yeah. And then you have Sydney, who's his partner, and, the lady. She's got to be around to kick ladies.
Yeah. You can't have a man beating up a woman.
Yeah.
But women are criminals, too, so you need to have them get beat up. So
Exactly.
you get a woman cop.
Exactly. And so they take on, like, every scene they're in basically has action, stunts, fighting, and I think they do all their own stunts, too. Like, I didn't know.
Well, she did do a roundhouse. I saw that.
She didn't just do a roundhouse. She did that side flip and kicked 2 people. Mm. She had the moves.
Okay.
They clearly gave her all the cool action. So yeah, those are our main characters. Okay.
Sydney, Francis,
Trebek,
Walker, and CD. Okay, I got it.
You got it. All right.
I might say black guy, woman, meathead, if I forget.
That's
Wilford Brimley.
So, as all episodes, I think a lot of episodes open this way, where they're hanging out at the bar. They're
of course.
Yeah. They're laying on the themes of just like what Christmas is all about.
Family giving.
Spending time. Trivet's kind of playing the idiot role where he's just like, what do you guys want for Christmas? I'm thinking of giving you a gift card. And they're just like, you can't do that. Like, there's no thought behind that. It's cheap.
I hate people at my mom's like this.
Yeah.
Like she expects a gift, but she won't tell you what she wants.
Yeah.
I hate people. That's what they're doing, poor Trivets.
Yeah, they really are.
They expect a gift. Believe me, they do. But they're still like, oh, I don't know.
And Walker's being like your mom. She's really hamming it. He's really hamming it up where he's just like, you don't have to give me anything. Don't you know? It's all about family time and friends. Yeah. He's really pushing it hard.
And so CD goes, he brings up that ornament thing where they killed Koresh. He's like, man, I love that. I just shot the guy right in the face. It was beautiful.
They're trying to establish the theme of...
They took a picture of his dead body and they put it into an ornament.
Very clever. But yeah, they're like, that's going on the front side of the tree so everybody can see it.
And it looked like a giant-ass belt buckle.
Yeah.
Everything was a belt buckle on this.
They pushed the Southern themes really, really, really hard in this show.
So yeah, we get that nice meet cute. If you're like a new person to the show like me, they kind of let you know what these guys are about, who they are, and then we go straight to that great intro.
Bow, ba bow, bow. In the eyes of a ranger. We're just singing to the
I'm a war ranger and I'm walking.
I did like the final sentiment before they went to that. Sydney says, what, are we going to start sending emails instead of Christmas cards?
Shape of things to come.
So right out of our Walker intro, which, man, that really got my blood boiling when I was a kid. Like, I was, like, geared up, ready to go. I'm ready.
Fucking roundhouse in there.
It's only 40 seconds, so I could get off like 3 or 4 roundhouses in that time, and then I was out of breath because roundhouse. You got to put a lot into a roundhouse. There ain't no tippy tap.
That's true.
It's a power kick. So yeah, we open up, and the theme of this episode, which is how we were trying to settle on a Christmas episode, and I said, "There's this one or this one, where Santas go around robbing." Apparently, it was malls.
They were robbing like armored cars.
Yeah, that's right. But they were like outside of malls.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure enough.
Of course, it's where in the 90s, people went to the malls to buy shit. So
late
that's
90s malls were popping. All the bean pails were at the malls. Mm-hmm. It was the only place you could get them, or Nelson's Trade Shop,
or at some near to well secondhand shop where all these underground deals go down. We'll get in that
yeah, that was Nelson's Trade Shop.
Oh,
So, yeah, we see the first armed robbery happening.
These guys disguised as mall Santas attack these guards, steal the shit, throw it into a getaway car, and take off.
And while this scene is happening, it's a tragic scene. There's all kinds of, mall shoppers there witnessing it, screaming their heads off. But they're playing soft Christmas music.
They're playing it all throughout the episode.
It's the music
and
in the
it's
scene
jingle bells 90% of the time.
90%. Oh, it's so good. So, they get the money. They take off. They just have like a conversion van that they're all riding around in. They don't have the license plate covered, so anybody could have picked up the license plate.
No, they didn't.
They just didn't care.
So they get away. So they're setting up a sting. Like, we can't have this. This is Christmas time. We can't have people stealing our money.
We're back in the the Ranger, office, and they're thinking about it, and they're like, they hit this mall, and they hit this mall. And Walker, this is interesting. There's a trend here. The malls are really close. Easy access to the freeway.
We're always off the freeway.
And so everyone's like, how are we going to figure out where the next hit's going to be? He's like, well, this is the only other mall. These two are the only other malls that are easy access to the freeway. So let's go there. And
luck would have it. I think they're right.
Yeah. And they've got like some marked bills. That's what it ended up being. And so they're send Sydney and Francis off because they're the dream team. They always go together. And Walker goes to one mall with Trivet, and they go to the other mall. So setting up the sting operation. These episodes, they move quick. You got to cram a lot into 40 minutes.
Only got 40 minutes.
Right. So we get a cutaway while they're getting set up at the mall, and we see nice, kids learning about the meaning of Christmas.
They're at church. They're getting ready for the Christmas pageant. Kids are getting their roles.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be the innkeeper. You're Mary. You're Jesus.
Yeah.
And this kid's like, what's my motivation for this scene? He's the innkeeper.
Yeah.
He's like, did I really put him in the manger? It's kind of fucked up, you know?
That's absolutely horrible.
Why don't I just throw him out on the street? He's like, but you can make more money. You can charge him half the amount of money for the manger instead of no money by kicking him out. That's what Jesus is all about. Entrepreneurial spirit. Father, the Son, and the entrepreneurial spirit. Those are the Trinity.
Goddamn right.
And the kid goes, that sounds like, that makes sense, preacher. He's like, pats the kid on the head. Then these kids go into this tone-deaf version of Silent Night. It's pretty rough.
Oh, yeah, they're just a little off-key. Come on, kids. pastor's not doing his job.
And do we meet Juan at this time?
Yeah, we meet Juan. We
reformed
cut over.
gangbanger.
Yeah, you immediately notice Juan because he's got a little pierced ear, nice little tasteful hoop earring. He's got a sweater vest on, tie, collared shirt, and he's just outside greeting everybody as they walk in.
Something's off.
Yeah,
because I noticed he's got a tiny neck tattoo.
Tiny neck tattoo.
And that's code for low life.
It's gotta be.
And he meets up with this Mexican couple. The woman's pregnant. She's just like, I can't wait for this baby to come so they won't kick me out.
Felipe.
We're learning, people. Mexicans are people, too.
Oh.
So,
Thank you, Walker.
Yeah, So we're like, hey, I have a neck tattoo. I've impregnated a woman. They're like me. And so, yeah, that's just sort of setting that thing. Like, they're all rapists and drug dealers, people.
Like our president says?
Yes.
So just as the beautiful young couple heads into the church,
she knitted a doily or some shit for the
and even
church.
CD's talking about how lovely these people are.
You're the good type of Mexican.
Oh, Jesus, CD. That's the Southern racism, though, where it's just
he doesn't realize he's saying he's racist. It's just that's the way he is.
And so you did mention gangbangers, and unfortunately, the gangbangers, the old crowd that. Oh, shit, I got my names confused there. This is Felipe. Juan's old crew shows up, and beautiful car, and Juan has to head over there to talk to them.
He's like, Felipe is like, OSA.
Oh,
you're going to steal some more of my crew?
I really feel like Walker was like, that's how you guys talk. He pulled the Steven Seagal. Yeah. This is how you guys talk.
He told them, no, it's not Mexican enough. Anybody, you see my buddy Ricardo? Get that call back to Richie. And they got this weird ass, what the fuck? It looked like a Grand Prix or some shit. It was like, half of it was half. It wasn't like a convertible, half convertible.
Yeah.
They cut off the part that's over the front half of the car, and the back seat still has its cover. It was really weird, and he was just like, and Juan's like, I'm still gonna work on you, Felipe. You're gonna come to the way of the Lord.
Yeah, Felipe notices that they're bringing all kinds of neat toys, and he's like, are those bean pails? Oh man, I'm gonna have to steal some toys for you. I mean, buy some toys and donate them to you. And then he takes a big swig out of a brown bag. Oh, man, he's drinking and driving. Felipe, come on.
He needs some Jesus
in his life. He
needs
a little Jesus in his life.
And they hit the hydraulics and they take off.
Oh, man.
They're hammering home with all the stereotypes.
Yeah. And so we go to Juan, who's now teaching a class in the church, and it's all Mexican children, and they're trying to.
It's underprivileged children. It wasn't just
is that
Mexican.
what they were going for?
There was a black kid there.
Oh, there was. And so he is. Every student in that classroom is like puppy dog eye. They are just absorbing.
They need a mentor, a male figure in their life, and Juan is doing that for them.
Yeah, and they all look up to him. It's almost like Cody or whatever the fuck his name is from Kickboxer 2, where all of his pupils just sort of like.
Well, there was a scene where Juan took a blindfold on and asked the kid to try to punch him.
Yeah, try to punch me. Yeah, what is it? The blind rock in the river or something?
I don't know. It's a very underrated episode. Go listen to it.
But one of the kids finally raises his hand, and Juan's like, yes, what do you need? And he's like, teach, I gotta know, what's with the tats? And he looks down, and he's got this teeny tiny forearm tattoo, and he's like,
Still a tattoo.
Still a tattoo. And he's like,
He's like, well, this is a kanji. It means, and he goes into an hour-long reason what this tattoo means to him, what he was doing when he got it. He's like, no, I just wanted to know why you had. I didn't cut to the chase, Teach.
Yeah, and he even cuts him off. The student is like, is it a gang thing? My question is it a gang thing? He goes, yes, it's a gang thing. But it
still has very special. That's why I didn't get rid of it.
Yeah, well, he's saying I gotta keep it here. Remember where I came from.
And I don't want to go back.
He teaches all the kids, the real power is giving in to the Lord, That's what makes you a man, not tattoos, not being in a gang. Give in to the Lord.
Walker, is that Walker's wife, girlfriend?
It's his girlfriend.
She's watching on. She's approving. She's nodding approvingly. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
they were very progressive with this show. They made her the assistant attorney general. Glass ceiling doesn't exist. She can do anything she wants, even in a fictional show. So
she goes, Juan, I approve of what you just said.
Oh my God,
you're one of the good ones, and then she walked away.
Why was she monitoring the class if he's one like?
Well, that's how she found out.
Got to keep an eye. So we're gonna go back to our mall scene. We got to check in on what Trivet and Walker are up to, and of course Trivet's still trying to figure out the perfect gift for Walker. Notices his boots are a little scuffed. Hey, Walker, how long have you had those boots? They have any sentimental value? Maybe you could use a new pair?
He's like, Trivet, you're a piece of shit. Christmas is about Jesus and about giving.
Yeah.
Stop with all the materialism.
But they see that I believe the money escort comes and goes without any problem, so they call in to Sydney.
It's called a guard.
Guard. Yeah. I can't bring that
money
up for some reason.
Prostitute. And so, yeah.
They call into Sydney and Francis, and they're like, hey, yeah, what's going on with your situation?
And then they're like, well, nothing really. And then they see this woman who's a stroller, and her car just, as it happens sometimes, it just goes into drive, and it starts rolling, and she's like, stop, my baby's in the car. And, of course,
no.
Francis and, what's her name?
Sydney,
they're cops. They're heroes.
Yeah. So
and they go running after
Yeah, they spring right into action.
And while that's happening, these mall Santas come out with their Uzis.
Oh, shit.
And beat the fuck out of these guys. They stop the car. The cops stop the car. It's a fucking... They got hoodwinked. They got hoodwinked.
See? I thought it was good.
By this chick, because it's a doll. It's not a real baby.
Oh, man.
It was a distraction.
Sydney is pissed about that. She's like, I'm going to put this one in the old memory cells for later.
Because she's trying, her and Francis, you don't know about this, but this is their motivation. They're trying to have a baby. They've been trying for a long time. And so you're mocking her, basically.
Shit.
She would love to have a baby that she could forget and let roll in a car.
Murray, this is your first episode, and look at you.
Yeah, man.
2 years worth
I actually wrote 3 episodes of Walker Texas.
And
I've never seen it.
Just like our podcast. Yeah. You don't listen to it. You'll do the work. You just won't listen or watch.
Right.
So, yeah, I love how efficient these Santas are, though, because in the time it took them 38 seconds to stop the car, notice it was a fake baby, and turn around, the mall Santas have beat the shit all while Jingle Bells is playing very softly, very nice. There could have been a Yule fireplace or something going on as well. But in that time, the Santas have destroyed the fucking guards, and they're about to get back in the van when Sydney and Francis come running up. We're talking about a mall, people everywhere, and they both just get their Glocks out and open fire. They're just raining bullets everywhere.
They're just doing their Second Amendment right.
I mean, they're not just
exercising their Second Amendment.
They're not just exercising their Second Amendment. They're serve and protecting.
They're doing both. They're standing their ground.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, these guys, I don't think they have guns out. They're just running away and they're shooting them in the back. They don't care.
Yeah, they do murder the fuck out of that one guy.
And
they shoot him 8 times.
They take off like the crooks, the scumbag they are. They leave their buddy. You know, he's riddled with bullets. And they think he left he has his wallet on him, thankfully, so they can find out who he is.
Yeah, that's how they get like their lead to their connection, because they find out about the barkeep or the bartender who was connected to him.
So that's going on. We'll go back to the church.
Yeah, we got to go back to this church.
And they're hammering it out. They're getting the nativity play like down perfectly.
Yeah.
Well, that's going on. Felipe and his crew show because they want those Beanie Pals, dude. Those things were hot in '97.
Dude, seriously, hundreds of dollars. Felipe knows about eBay as well.
And these will never go down in value. This is like better than investing in Apple.
As long as you put the little protective casing over the tag, they'll never depreciate in value.
And they had those too.
Yeah, I hear they had the Princess Diana one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think she was still alive back then. I don't remember when she died.
I don't either.
But yeah, they're like, hey, fuck the money, man. Get those Beanie Pals. And they're throwing them in.
Oh, man.
And
I think they were even throwing price tags around. That one's worth $20. This one's worth $40.
Their eyes were just fucking huge. And so they didn't notice that the pastor shows up. And he's like, hey, what's going on with these Beanie Pals?
Oh, no.
And they go, Vamonos! And they rush past, they push, lightly graze to the pastor.
Yeah, it goes into slow-mo, so you know the force was significant.
Yeah, it was so forceful. We couldn't see it with the naked eye unless they slowed it down.
Exactly.
They slowed it down. It took like 15 seconds for him to fall down.
Yeah, he crashes. The pastor crashes into the wall, and you see the wall just buckle. It's like the drywall is completely cracked. He went halfway into it.
Tough.
Ooh, yeah. And yeah, he just starts slowly collapsing.
Down.
Oh man! And you're just like, that man.
He's a goner.
He's got to be a goner. You don't survive very, very subtle push.
And then just a brushing of the shoulder, and then Juan's showing up. He's like, "Hey, I got those tag protectors for the Beanie Pals." Pastor! Pastor!
Pastor!
And he runs up. It's like, no, I vow revenge on you. This has to be Felipe.
Oh, man. I don't know how he figured it out so quickly, but he was just
because Felipe told him earlier, I'm going to come by and steal all your Beanie Pals.
He did kind of say that. Okay, so this is where we get the marked bills that comes up. It wasn't the wallet. It's the fact that they traced back the marked bill. Apparently, after the robbery, the idiots went to a bar. You know, they just went straight drinking. So they show up to the bar, and the bartender's just like, hey, it's just this guy, Johnny something.
Johnny Paycheck.
Johnny Paycheck.
I think his name was Corey.
Yeah, you're right. It was like Cory Booker. Wait, is that a...
Yeah, that's the guy running for president.
That's right.
He's black.
That's right.
And these guys obviously are racist crackers because they go to this dilapidated house. The rest of the neighborhood was... They were just not only are they thieves, they're ruining the property value of their neighborhood.
Absolutely. I'm glad I did point it out to you, but I'm sure you noticed it on your own. I just like to talk sometimes because, again, we watch these movies and shows by ourselves, so having somebody around, I just get to chatting. But, yeah, every house, it looks like the whitest, suburbiest neighborhood ever. There's, all kinds of lawn ornaments everywhere.
Gnomes everywhere.
Everywhere. But then you have this one house. It's just completely cracked out. Refrigerator on the lawn. Car half falling apart.
Guys wearing Pantera shirts. They're fucking low life.
Pantera? Really?
Yeah.
He probably worships the devil so hard.
Hell yeah, he does.
Damn, man.
And they're like a fat bald guy with goatee. He's up to no good.
Yeah.
And they show up. They just fucking run off on the front lawn, peel out. What's that guy's name? Francis. He does a Parsifal across the hood, guns ablazing, and they're just like, "We got a question for you."
No part of this is just like, we're going to talk to you guys. We're ready to fight you fuckers.
Yeah, because they already know these people are guilty.
And our audience already knows that, too.
Yeah, there's no due process.
But yeah, they're just like, why don't you tell Corey to come out? And so you hear a guy, really dorky-looking dude with a bandana on. So, yeah. He's like, Corey, some people want to see you. They say they're Rangers. Corey's just like, tell them I'm not home. So the Rangers are like, that's not going to work here. They walk up the porch, and the Pantera guy stands up, and everybody else stands up. And, yeah, the Rangers do not let them blink an eye. They just start
The guy was
attacking.
just about to say, let me talk. Boom! He just kicks the guy in the face. His teeth go flying. And then it's a roundhouse palooza.
Murray, should I put in some sound effects
you
here?
got it. These people, they're breaking the sound barrier with a roundhouse. Wow, wow. I mean, it's like when someone picks up a knife and just picks up a butter knife. Swing, like, what the fuck? Like, it's that equivalent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm just going to give them a little sample here. But all this action, and Francis is taking out like one guy and one guy here, but Sydney is like doing these somersault kicks. She like completely gets 6 feet in the air and jump kicks one guy in the neck. It's a
Paralyzes
mess.
the guy for life. But hey, that's what you get for being in a house where crime was happening.
And then I think Corey like tried to escape out the back door, and they catch him and throw him to the ground, and they end up actually cuffing him. And they look in his car, Santa outfit. No other thing he could be doing with that Santa outfit.
Piece of shit.
So just to give you another cute little moment, she puts the hat on and she says, "Ho, ho, ho, guess what we found for Christmas?"
And commercial break.
And Francis hits her with, "Oh, yeah, what do you want for Christmas? I got you a bathrobe." So funny.
You always want to go out on a commercial break with a real, like, either a cliffhanger or a great one-liner.
And that was a great one-liner. There was another one-liner in there. Oh, man. The guy, the dorky white dude says, "I got one word for you, beat it." And after she's done thrashing him, she says, "Beat it" is 2 words.
Wow. She physically and verbally thrashed that guy.
They really did just like condense our movies into 40-minute chunks.
Yeah. So we cut back. Everybody, if you're around the underworld or you're observing it like a cop, you know where you go for hot beanie pals.
Yes.
It's this. What was that place called again?
Well, they got the email because Trivet is very versed on internet.
Yeah, he's the
so
nerd.
you see his computer. It's making all kinds of noises.
He's got. Did you check out my new GeoCities site I put up?
But yeah, it's beep boop, bop, boop, boop, boop. No computer makes that noise unless it's broken.
He's got like punch cards he's putting in.
Walker, of course. What is this? Some kind of internet? Yes, boss. 2 internets.
It's a series of tubes, boss.
But yeah, he's got this. It's not even like an email he has open. It's like a system warning, Windows system warning, and you can't read the text, but he's reading it to us. And it's Nelson Traders says he's got a deal on beanie pals. He's got a huge load coming in. He's going to sell them for next to nothing. Why would he be selling them for next to nothing if they were the hottest thing in the world?
It's just to get people in the door. Then he jacks them.
Then he jacks. This half ripped up one. This is the cheap one. The rest of them, that'll cost you.
There you go.
So Walker
they stake it out. They stake the place out. They get. Once again, Trivet's like, "Come on, what do you want for Christmas?"
Oh, he does something real sly here because he's like, I was thinking about getting CD a new hat.
I thought he was going to say CD.
Belt buckle on top. And Walker gets it. He's just like, "Don't get me anything for Christmas. I don't want a new hat. It's about love and Jesus. That's all it is."
Spirit of giving.
Spirit of giving.
Well, I'm trying to give you something, Walker. That's different.
Yeah. And yeah, that's they're staking out the Nelson's Trader. Sure enough,
those Vatos show up.
Felipe and the crew. Yeah.
And I think they just open the door and they go, "That's our move," and they immediately attack these guys.
They see them rifling through the trunk, and somehow they fit like 5,000 toys into a trunk because there were so many toys in that thievery scene. But they managed to fit it all in this one car. And so Walker, he steps out. He's like, "Hey, here you guys got some bean pails here," and they immediately just start fighting because that's the only thing you can do. No, these are ours. No, let's fight.
You can't lie to Walker.
Yeah. This is the closest thing we get to Walker actually fighting. This is like I mentioned that he just kind of throws somebody to the ground and, Trivet kind of does the rest. I think that's why he was brought in, though.
A nerdy black guy can't even kicks ass more than Walker does. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yes, they take him out. The guy... The Nelson, he knows the jig is up, so he turns the open sign to closed. And then we cut back. Fucking the pastor, man, he's in a coma, people.
Yeah.
That dry hard will fuck you up.
Oh, my God. So Juan's standing over him.
What? I said dry hard. It's drywall.
You did say dry hard?
I got die hard on the brain because people won't shut the fuck up about it being a Christmas movie. Yeah. Yes, it's a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes, it's a Christmas movie. So, yeah, Juan's checking in on the pastor, and he is not letting this go. He is very upset.
CD tries to set him straight. He's like, look, son, It's not about Jesus. Jesus wouldn't want you to do revenge. I want you to pray for this man's soul. He's in a coma. And he's like, no, I cannot do that. I don't know why I did that. He talks normal. But he walks out, and then he just starts, I mean, fuck, man. We were talking about Red Brown the last episode emoting.
Yeah.
CD is going for that Emmy.
Dude.
He's like, I want the fucking regular Emmy and the daytime Emmy.
Dude, those carolers roll up in the hospital and they start singing behind him, and CD, his glasses are fogging. Oh, cheeks get all red.
Diabetes. and then we, so we know this guy has a heart. He's a tough hombre.
Yeah.
But he's got a heart.
So we join Juan, and he's heading over to his buddy Jose, and we get this nice R&B. This is my favorite mix from it. Maybe I'll sprinkle that in right here. But he's rolling up to Jose's place of work. He's just shooting nails into a piece of wood.
Yeah.
And he's
they're making like picture frames. I don't know what they were making.
Yeah.
Maybe they're making mangers. I don't know.
Hey, maybe. But he's telling, I know Felipe did this. You're my man, Jose. You got to get my bag.
Yeah.
And Jose,
I know you're married and expecting a child, but I want you to help commit murder with me.
Yeah.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
We're amigos.
Exactly.
And he's like, no, I can't.
I need you to throw that all away for this petty revenge.
Yeah.
And Jose's just like, look, I can't do this. And you know immediately something bad's about to happen to Jose. This is when the ill feelings start happening with Jose. Right? Start to really get worried about him. But as Juan leaves, because Jose is just like, no, man. No way, Jose. We get I think we get that cut to Juan buying a pistol.
Yeah, from the back of a car.
Yeah.
Exercising his Second Amendment rights.
Yes, absolutely. He's going to stand his own ground later.
And Jose, he's a bitch now, so he immediately calls up Walker. Goes, I'm worried about Juan.
I just love this town that everybody knows Walker's number. I like to imagine they don't call police like 911 or anything.
He's like, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, he just calls directly to Walker.
Because Walker just does what he wants. He doesn't have to follow rules or laws or anything. He takes care of business like it should be.
Yeah.
And while that's going on, our buddy Sid and Francis, the dynamic duo, are interrogating good old Corey.
Yeah.
And
jeez.
I would totally break if they did this to me.
Dude,
it was short cop, long cop is what I like to call this style.
This is like borderline enhanced interrogation. Like, he was really pushing boundaries.
He's like,
here.
look, you can go to jail 4 inches from the ground, or 4 inches from the ground.
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Well, let me break it down for you. He grabs a piece of paper. You see this? This is 4 inches. And then he grabs a chair and slams on the table. And this isn't 4 inches. This is 4 inches on the ground. Get it? And he's like, okay. He's like, what are you talking? I don't know. I did it. He just these blabs. He does everything.
Man, you can see Sydney in the background. She's getting a little hot. She's like, damn, I didn't know my man could do this. Or maybe they're not together. I don't know. But the tension is,
of course, there's tension.
There's a lot of tension happening there.
And so he bitches out and spills the beans.
Yeah, he tells them about where every robber, they all live in the same house. They're stealing all this money so they can barely afford the house they all rent together.
Crack, people. It's whack. It's opioid epidemic, Griff.
Yeah.
It started in 97. That's what they're paying for.
Still paying for it. So Juan goes to the old factory. The hangout.
It's right next to a wharf. You can't see the wharf.
You can't see the wharf. Middle of Texas, there's a wharf there.
That's how fucked up this. These aren't just garden variety criminals. These are hardcore. They hang out in an abandoned Sparks factory.
Yeah. So we go to the factory, and Juan is just putting out the warning. You tell Felipe, I'm coming.
Felipe's hiding. He's a bitch.
Yeah. And they, his old toughs, they try to, we hear, why don't you go back to your choir boy? And he just grabs that man by the collar and is like, I'll put you through that drywall. I'll put you in a coma, like that pastor. You don't want to be
He's
throwing
like,
through drywall.
easy, Holmes.
Yeah, no
He's
drywall for
like,
me.
You tell Felipe, meet me at Arlington Square, because that's where we settle all our beefs. He's like, I'll do that.
I got to tell you, the Arlington Square is just like an outdoor mall. It's not an intense place at all, but apparently it's well known for being where gangs settle
I heard
scores.
there's a hot topic there, so it's pretty intense.
Yeah. So Walker and Triv are trying to figure out where Juan is going to be heading, because they figured out the money thing. Like the malls off the expressway, that was easy. But where do gang members go to settle a score, Murray?
I'm going to say Arlington Square.
Arlington Square, that's where the Vados always settle.
Where I settle all my scores.
That's where they all settle their scores. So
what's going on with that pastor? Well, CD, he's been watching over him the whole time.
Yeah.
And then he finally, he has his moment of clarity.
Yeah.
He says, he rips the fucking ventilator off the guy. He's like, this is a problem for the Lord. And then he starts praying, like, good name and Jesus.
His glasses start fogging up again. This prayer is so hard.
Save my friend. I swear to God, I'll kill you, Jesus. And
I'll come out of retirement and do what I did to those Waco boys. You're going to be an ornament on my tree next year.
And Jesus blinked.
Oh, apparently.
Well, we don't know. So we're like, all right, he's putting it into the hands of the
spoiler
Lord.
alert. Back to foreshadow.
He's putting it into the hands of the Lord and not medicine.
So we've been skipping over. There's also been a 5th or 6th storyline. There are seriously 7 storylines happening in this one episode.
The least important one is the heist, which we thought the whole episode was about this heist.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And so we have like glimpses into Jose and his wife's little relationship, their little apartment, their little life. It's a beautiful life.
Jose and Maria.
Oh, she's so pregnant, and and she keeps joking around about how the baby's on the way, and they're getting ready to go to the final church service, the big Christmas church service. And so getting in the car and getting ready to head over when her contractions start kicking up. She's like, I'm not kidding this time. You got to get me there.
And he's like, all right, I'll get us there. And we cut back to the church in Juan.
Yeah.
And they're having that big service and working on this play forever. And he walks out. And
yeah.
So Alice is her name?
Yeah,
She's
one of his students is like, Teach, aren't you going to lead us in prayer? And he's like, not tonight. So he heads over.
It's Christmas. What the fuck? We're not. This is it.
Heads over to his car, and then Alice comes over, and
she's like, Juan, I'm worried about you. What are you doing? I have business to do. Takes off. As he takes off, you see that star, the same star that guided the Magi to Jesus, shine bright. It's like 10 times the size of any other star. It's how bright it is.
It just always conveniently escapes the clouds, just a glimmer, and it's like, oh, you start hearing that. It's supposed to be the children's choir, group, singing in the background. I can't remember the song. I don't know my Christmas songs. Fall to your knees, pray to the man at be or something.
Fall to your knees. That's my favorite Christmas carol. So
Juan goes to
Arlington Square.
Arlington Square.
They're like going to have an old-fashioned shootout, like meet you at high noon, but it's like nighttime.
Of course, Felipe's there waiting for him.
Yeah, well, he ain't no bitch.
Yeah.
And and this is actually it's a literal Mexican standoff.
It is, because
of course, and we can tell how Juan's life has changed. He's become good by way he holds his gun.
Yes,
because Felipe does the scumbag criminal way of holding it sideways.
Yeah,
Felipe holds it like they train you in my NRA training thing.
The interesting thing about this is when they show up, Felipe seems like he wants to talk. But Juan is so angry that he pulls the gun, so Felipe does the same.
Yeah. And they're just standing there for about 10 minutes.
And now it's tense. And Juan is sweating, he's shaking, he's ready to murder this man. And then you hear Walker's voice. Is that what Jesus would do? Did you see my bracelet? WWJD. What would he do?
He's like, I thought that was your favorite radio station. I didn't know that was Jesus. And he just was like, oh, yeah, well, here's some more. Here's some of Jesus' greatest hits.
Oh, man.
And he just starts rattling them off.
I think it was like Dwayne 2112.
He's like, to be or not to be, that is a question. All the shit Jesus said.
Yeah.
And he's just Juan's breaking, man. He's even you can see it's working on Felipe. He's just like, he's having this. At that moment, Griff, I fell to my knees and accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior. It was that powerful.
Chuck Norris's voice, man. I didn't think it's got the same potency as that title track, that theme song when he talks it at you. It's just, it catches you.
And then everybody but Chuck breaks down, starts crying. Even Trivet starts crying.
Trivet, he's got the Frank Washington O-face. Like, jeez.
They've all become born again Christians.
Yeah.
They re-give their lives to Jesus.
Yeah.
Right there on the spot.
God, man.
Well, that's it. We're all done. Show's over. We caught the fucking bank heisters.
We already settled the bank heister. We skipped out on that fight scene completely.
Yeah, it was boring.
Sid and Francis went over. They were half disguised, and so they just roll up on the lawn. Francis Parsifal's. They beat everyone's ass. They throw a metal pipe at a guy riding by on a bike. He wasn't even involved. and
thankfully, we could see a woman get beat up.
Yes, and as the woman is basically begging the cop to stop beat her, Sydney.
I love how they give us a flashback.
She has the flashback to the baby, and
so we know, like, that's because you can beat up a random guy. Who cares?
Yeah.
But a woman, you got to have an explanation.
Yeah.
And it's like she was the woman in the car that had the fake baby.
Yes. And so she takes her head, lifts up the hood on the car, and just slams
and then
the fucker
curb
down.
stomps her. Like, busts all her teeth out.
Jeez, man.
And she's like, that's for lying about babies.
That's for lying about babies.
Speaking of babies.
Let's, wow!
Maria and Jose
Perfect segue.
are driving safely, slowly. They're going the speed limit.
They are going the speed limit.
And some rat-fink motherfucker just happens to run a red light.
Yeah.
Runs them off the road. There happened to be, a ramp right next to this car because their car goes flying over a car.
They happen to be going into the Arlington Square.
Just as how it happened. Just as the fucking the standoff is happening.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Christmas miracle.
It almost is. So they Parsifal in a car over a car, which is the most impressive Parsifal I've ever seen. But he doesn't stick the landing quite so well. And so he drags all these Christmas lights down with him because he got some serious fucking air.
And these are those old, dangerous kind you screw in.
Oh, my God, yeah.
They're dangerous. And they're really dangerous when there's some gas leaking.
Oh, my God. And there's probably lead paint all over them. There's probably, like, I don't know, formaldehyde filled up. It's all kinds of bad things. But, yeah, even the gas tank starts cracking and, spilling out oil everywhere.
Oil?
Gas, excuse me. So yeah, Walker and everybody, they spring into action. All four of them, they run over and they immediately help Jose out.
Immediately help the guy who's not pregnant.
Yeah.
First.
And then the gas, the light bulb and the gas, it just erupts and Jose's my wife?
Yeah. Well, you're still young.
Yeah.
They're like, no, she's got my baby. Well, this is a right to life state.
Yeah.
So they grab her.
Chuck carries her over. Just happens to be a nativity scene with a nice manger. Yeah.
Arlington Square is known for its nativity scenes.
Yep. So they set up the baby, and Chuck rolls up his sleeves.
They set up the pregnant lady. The baby still.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, they set
Chuck's
her up.
like, Jose, get me some of that boiling water.
Yep.
Juan, get me some blankets. And
Trevette, just watch with that big dumb look on your face.
I'm gonna birth me a baby.
Maybe Trevette's thinking this is what Walker wants is a baby.
Walker, I guess this is a way to give birth. He roundhouse kicks her right in the right spot in the stomach, and the baby just pops out.
I mean, it took 5 seconds. She seemed to think it
but
went
the
pretty
baby's
well.
a little stunned by being roundhouse. He's not breathing.
Oh.
So they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, and Juan, he just looks up to the heavens.
We learned from CD.
Yeah.
It's all in the Lord's hands.
Yeah.
Medicine schmedicine.
Everything is looking its grimace. You got a car on fire. They had to save everybody.
Car blew up.
Car blew up.
The baby almost flew out of her vagina when they left from the explosion.
But they cut back to the pastor and CD. Pastor's still in a coma.
CD's taking his rings and watch off and shit. He's the honor.
Alice, who was trying to help the choir, that whole thing's gone to shit. They're singing the wrong songs. They're praising Satan. Everything is going to hell. But
then you see up in the sky, that fucking North Star. That
Juan's
line.
prayer, man. He said, Jose deserves this. Jose and Maria, they need this baby. You know how much they need it, Lord.
Yeah, their green card's up, man.
Yeah.
They need this baby.
They need this baby. And sure enough, the clouds clear, night sky, or the star shines, and they cut back to our characters who all have this ominous glow on their face now.
Well, they all have halos, I thought.
Yeah, they did. And Jesus just came all over
the
them.
baby's like, what the fuck? It was like watching Baby Yoda all over again.
Oh, my God. Christmas?
And then at the same time, the pastor comes to just as fucking CD's pulling that one last ring off his finger.
Oh,
he comes to
Felipe.
Felipe,
he looks at the sky after the baby starts breathing again, and he's like, Lord, please forgive me. I'm a horrible gangbanger, and I'm gonna get out of this life, and I'm gonna change everything. And that's when it cuts to CD and the pastor. But yeah, CD was trying to murder the man.
Well, he was just trying to steal his gold. Because he's like, he ain't gonna need it. He's a goner.
But yeah, the pastor comes to at that point.
Because he's like, he felt that ring coming off his finger, and he's like, what? He's like, puts it back on. Damn it. So the pastor, he's out of his coma. He's brain dead. He's like basically a vegetable, but he's out of his coma.
Yeah. So our closing scene, we have Felipe. He's with Walker and everybody, and they go to the hospital. And Felipe is apologizing, which happens to bring the... I don't know. It kind of looked like the pastor was coming out of that whatever happened to his brain, his dead brainedness.
His coma?
His coma. Well, he's already out of the coma.
Yeah.
But you took it a step further and said that he was horribly...
brain damaged?
Yeah, brain damaged.
Yeah, he's got CTC.
But he's
probably going to murder somebody in a blind rage.
Probably.
A child at the church.
But Felipe apologized to him in person, and the pastor's just like, hey, if the Lord forgive you...
You're going to fix that drywall?
Fix the drywall, and you know what? The Lord forgave you, so I'll forgive you afterwards. But I will still remind you all the time that you wronged me.
Yeah, and where are those beanie friends, beanie pals?
Where are my beanie pals? I was going to steal them, actually.
Oh man! Wow, that doesn't get you in the Christmas spirit. I don't know what will.
It was seriously.
People, grab your family. Your family's probably still there at your house. Listen to this episode together with them, and just listen to it together. Just come together as a family and celebrate our Lord.
I mean, Walker gave that family the best gift possible. He delivered their baby.
Almost killed it, but he delivered it.
He got a little carried away with the kick. But he hadn't kicked anybody all episode, so clearly he was going to kick
somebody. If it's the baby, well, so be it.
Yeah. Well, Murray, that was Tippy Tap number 1. Walker Texas Ranger episode season 8, episode 12. If you'd like to go check it out.
Hey, I got a question for you. This isn't a Walker question. This is a action TV show question.
Sure.
Witcher. Are you familiar with this?
I have played
it's a video
games.
It's a video game?
And I've played like 3 hours of Witcher 3.
Okay. They got a TV show.
Yes.
It's on Netflix.
Yes.
I watched I know absolutely nothing about this. I vaguely know it was even a video game.
Yeah.
I watched 1 episode. Not good.
Are you serious? Because everyone on the internet says this is what Game of Thrones Season 8 should be.
That blew my mind. I heard that too, and I was like, no. To me, it felt like less Game of Thrones and more Hercules Legendary Journey. It's I don't know why people... And I'm not knocking like Hercules or Xena because they knew what they were.
Yeah.
Like, they knew they were a goofball show, and they just embraced it. But this show was... I just watched 1 episode. Maybe it gets better. But I was like, really? Are people saying this is... Because look, I get it. Game of Thrones got bad as it went along. But no. I mean, I will say this about Game of Thrones. Because I watched the show before I read the books.
Mm-hmm.
First season is one of the best adaptations, TV adaptations I've ever seen. They really got it.
Yeah.
Once they started doing their own thing, and then they lost their way. And then it got shitty.
Right.
But no, it's not Game of Thrones at all.
Yeah.
I'll give it a couple more episodes. The lead guy was okay. He plays Superman.
Henry Carvel.
He was all right, but it's just I don't know. It's just one. This is my one pet peeve. They used to do it in Hercules too, but I let it go because Hercules was a goofy show.
Yeah.
I hate when they do shows that are like set in like medieval or like quasi medieval times, and they use modern like slang and words.
Oh, did they?
Somebody used the word shindig.
That's kind of annoying.
And it just takes you all totally out of the fucking like show. You're like, what? You know, someone said something was funky fresh. You know, it's not.
It's almost as bad as Walker saying Bato.
Yes, it is. So
it was a jarring moment.
It's
for
like
me.
it's like fan fiction. I don't want to fucking watch fan fiction. I don't read it. I don't want to watch it. And so I don't know. If you guys love it, you're wrong because it was pretty bad. I'll give it 2 more episodes and then I'm out if it don't improve.
Well, that's good of you to at least go 3 whole episodes into it.
Yeah, well, I think they're 8. So
yeah.
Because there seems to be this attitude where it's like, just say fuck and throw some titties in it, and it's mature. It's an adult show now. It's like, no, it was
the video game did do that a lot too.
Well, I think that's why they're comparing it to Game of Thrones. It's like, so what if you show tits? It's actually kind of immature if you think that's what like being an adult is.
Yeah, it's like the sword and sorcery. The Witcher, I think, has a lot more magic going on it though.
Well, I saw him kill a monster in it, and I think they did do some magic too.
Yeah,
but because I like that genre, but most of it's garbage. Most of the shit that, not just Witcher, I'm just talking about movies in general. I don't like, and this seems to be the one thing people always do when they do fantasy, and I hate it. It's always like a child is like the main character, like they're always the chosen one, and there's some of that in this thing. Too.
Hey man, back in those fantasy times, I mean, you're an old wizard or you're a young king who dies early, so it's like.
But these are little kids. I don't care if it's like he's 20 and then fine.
Yeah, like
but I hate
like
little
the
kids.
Starks kids were. Well, Rob was like 18 or 17 or something when he took over. Yeah,
they were. Yeah, they were in the books. Yeah, they were more like children. In the TV show, they were like kind of teenager adult. But they were little kids.
Well, they had to get those people naked, so they had to make them adults.
Right. It's probably what they did to have to do. But I don't. That's my pet peeve. I don't like that. That's why I never got into Harry Potter. I don't.
Man, you just been waiting for this Tippy Tap episode to put that out there, huh?
Well, I just saw it like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay,
so,
that's a good point.
Yeah, well, that's what the Tippy Tap is for, to get these kind of ideas out there, because it would be kind of weird if on your episode I brought this up.
I mean, it would have fit in with the sword and sorcery at least.
Well, there really was. It was
sword and lasers,
tomahawk and lasers,
sword and sci-fi.
Yeah. So that's our. This is episode 1 of Tippy Taps. This is not mandatory listening to. I guess this is for the hardcores of our.
This is for somebody who wants to go out and check out some people talk about Walker, Texas Ranger. Apparently,
well, not just that. I think we're gonna do. We'll probably do Renegade.
I'm saying for this specific episode,
right?
Yeah.
So I hope it was as good for you as it was for us. It probably was as long as our Your episode.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, really? Well, you have a choice. So choose wisely, and see you later.